Hello and welcome to Tricks of the Ashtray channel. Today is the 8th of February 2018. If you received the notification from this video from YouTube, it would have said the real Transformer. Now, if you're wondering who the real Transformer is, well, Transformer, first of all, is a movie that was directed, I think, and produced by Michael Bay, who's a higher up in Hollywood, which happens to be a Vatican, agent. Because you need to understand that all the directors and producers in Hollywood are high degree Freemasons, which only answer to the Vatican. And Michael Bay is one of them. And one of the movies that he produced, it was called Transformers, and which is directed as well. Now, the real Transformer, if you're wondering who it is on this particular video that you've received the notification, if you did get a notification, the real Transformer that we're featuring today is Shia LaBeouf. I hope I got the name right. If I haven't, then just pardon me, but you guys know who I'm talking about. And Shia LaBeouf happened to be one of the main characters in the movie The Transformers. Now, what happened was, I think Shia LaBeouf starred in like the first 3 series or first 4, whatever the case might be. And then after that, Mark Wahlberg took over. So the question is, what happened that Shia LaBeouf, after like 3 sequels of the movies, had to be moved over and Mark Wahlberg brought in? So it's today that we got to find out that Shia LaBeouf is the real Transformer in the movie and not those actual toy Transformers that you guys watch. So we're going to take a look at Shia LaBeouf to see what Shia LaBeouf is all about. Now, if it's your first time on our channel and you heard all that, and you want to start watching this movie right here, it's a movie nonetheless, I just call it a movie, or you want to start watching this video from this point, it's not a movie, pardon me, my speech, then we would advise that you pause the video right here and go look for the primer video. It's very, very important that you watch the primer video. The primer video will be the most important video that you have to watch on this channel. Without watching the primer video, a lot of the things that I'm saying is not going to make any sense to you at all. You're going to have more unanswered questions, and you're going to be wondering what it's all about. So we're trying to give you the whole picture of what's going on in your world on our channel, because our channel is not a gossip channel. We deal with facts. So if you've been to other channels and you hear a lot of stories, it's basically because those channels gossip. Our channel is not based on gossip, it's based on real information. So we advise that you pause the video right here and go look for the primer video and get educated on what we're doing. So I'm going to show you how to get to the primer video in a second. So if it's your first time on our channel, the video that you need to watch is called the primer video. The primer video will be the oldest video on the channel. And the primer video also has a playlist. So you can go to the channel and look for the playlist called Primer, and it will play this video for you. Now, on any video that you watch on this particular channel, any video at all that you pick up to watch, there is a link in the description section of that video. The link is the link that I'm pointing out right now with my mouse. When you click on this link, it's going to take you to a document that's called Male versus Female Visual Differences. It's very, very pertinent for you if you're trying to understand the visual differences between male and female to have this document. Now, this document is giving you the differences based on the fact that if it was in a standard world in the sense that we are not being fed hormones in our food, well, we don't have any hormones or poison in our water, and we don't have any sprayed chemicals that is being sprayed in the air like the chemtrails or whatsoever, in which the Vatican is trying to make the population, the general population of the world, very weak so they can control. They put poison in everything. Like, for example, fluoride is the greatest poison that we ingest every day. And fluoride makes us very weak and manipulable to instructions. Fluoride, there's so much damaging stuff that fluoride does. I mean, it's a whole nother video if we wanted to do a video on it. But this this document right here, it was based on a standard world in which we were free, all right, of all the things that I've talked about so far in the poisons that were being fed. It would show you the visual differences between male and females, especially like maybe how a female is supposed to look facially and how a male is supposed to look facially as well. But since this is not the case, because all the poisons that we're being fed through food, water, clothing. I mean, the list is endless. It's changing a normal facial, or let's say physical way that a female looks. So for example, right now you find out that men do grow breasts because it's the hormones that we're being fed that's causing all that. So in a normal world, this document will give you the visual differences between male and female. We advise that you still read it so you could know what those differences are. But what you should stick to, what is pertinent to understanding the visual differences between male and female, is in the skeleton. The reason is that the skeleton of a woman is designed to give birth. This is the only difference between males and females, is that a female can give birth and a man cannot. So because a woman is designed to give birth, her skeleton is designed to give birth. And so the skeletal differences between male and female, the major place where all these differences lies, which differentiates the sexes, lies in the pelvic region. So this is one of the most important places that you have to go looking if you're trying to differentiate the male and the female gender. So that's what you're looking at on my screen right now, and I'm going to send you through a quick crash course on this. We still advise, if you're a first-time subscriber, to get the document for yourself and just have it just for posterity and for, just for your own self, and just learn how to read, because reading is very, very important. If you're going to know anything about this world, you have to learn how to read. If you're depending on maybe, let's say, videos and or maybe stuff that you get from the internet and a lot of stuff, you might get confused. But books, the most important knowledge that you'll ever get is going to be in books. And this is just an e-format of a book that we've provided for you. So without spending too much time, let me dive straight deep into this document so we can carry on with the transvestigation of Shia LaBeouf, who is the real transformer. So you're looking at a female to my left. As you can see right here, a female has an arch in the back. A female has a C-shaped arch in the back, depending on where you draw that arch from. If you draw the arch below the shoulder blades, it's going to form a deep C in the back before it gets to the pelvis. If you draw the arch from higher up in the shoulder blades, it's going to form a deep S-shaped arch in the back. Now, why do females have an arch in the back? Females have an arch in the back because the pelvis of a female is tilted forward. Why is the pelvis of a female tilted forward? The pelvis of a female is tilted forward so that a baby can stay inside the pelvic region for the 9 months that a baby is supposed to stay inside the womb to develop before he or she gets born. Without the pelvic tilt, the baby that a woman is conceived with would not be able to stay inside the womb for 9 months. It would drop right out. So that's the reason why a female has a tilt in the pelvis. Okay, so the reason for that tilt in the pelvis is the reason why there is an arch in the back, because the spine needs to bend to accommodate that tilt in the pelvis, forming this deep C arch in the back. Also, the arch is extra support for the weight of carrying children, so that the weight of pregnancy can be evenly distributed across the body, so the woman doesn't have any problems walking. Now, males do not have an arch in their back because males do not get pregnant. Males don't get pregnant, will never get pregnant in any way, shape, or form. So when you hear such stories as that, such stories as cloning, and that such stories as maybe that they can clone the fallopian tubes and the female reproductive system into a man, and a man can conceive. These are all stories from the Vatican to confuse you on truth, because this is how lies really work. Let me just make you understand how lying works so you can get the idea, the mentality about a lie. If you believe in a lie is like a virus, okay? If you believe one lie, you're going to believe 2 lies. If you're gullible on the first lie, then you're going to be gullible on a couple more down the road. So that's how lying, that's how the Vatican works. They tell you lies because they know if they can get you to believe one lie, you're going to believe the next and the next and the next. And before you know it, you're not going to have any truth at all. So you should be careful about what you hear. There is no such thing as clones. Clones do not exist. Nothing can be cloned. Everything that is born into this world is born through an egg and a sperm if it comes to a human being. Same with animals. So don't let the Vatican tell you any such lies that they can take DNA from something and magically or scientifically turn it into a living organism when it concerns animals. Okay? So the reason why I'm saying all that is because I want you to know the difference. I want you to know the truth when you hear the truth, and I want you to know a lie when you hear one. So a man is never ever going to give birth. Never. It's never going to happen. It doesn't matter how science so far is going to develop in the future. It does not matter what science does, because a lot of science that we've come to understand as being true is actually false science. So a man will never be able to give birth. A man has a straight back. So that's just what I'm trying to show you, because I show you the difference between a female's back, that a female has an arch in the back, and males have straight backs because without the pelvic tilt, because males don't have any pelvic tilt, a man cannot get pregnant. Okay? So males have straight back. If the back of a man wants to arch, it's going to arch in the shape of a D or a P, but it's going to be straight all the way into the pelvis without an arch in the back. If a man tried to force an arch into his back, some males do this, a lot of castrated males trying to tell you that they're female can have their ribs removed, all right, and try to fake an arch. But when they do that, the body proportions are going to be out of sync, and if they try to force or bend the back, it'll form a weird L shape in the back. So men do not, oh, sorry, did I say men? I said men do not have an arch in the back. They have straight backs. I'm going to scroll further into the document just to show you how a female's back arches. Now, here is a female right here. As you can see, she's kneeling down and she has this deep C arch in the back because the pelvis is tilted forward. It doesn't matter what color the skin of this woman is. It doesn't matter her ethnicity or the texture of her hair. All females have an arch in the back, because without an arch in the back, you can get pregnant. You have to understand that based on the ethnicity, some females can have a much more deeper pronounced arch than the other. But regardless, every female has an arch in the back. It could be subtle and it could be very, very deep. All the same, there's a C-shaped arch in the back. So I want you to remember those letters again. The back of a female is going to be shaped like a C or an S. The back of a male is going to be shaped like a D or a P. So I scroll further into the document just to show you that it doesn't matter about the size, because some people say that the female may not have an arch in the back because she's a big female or small female. Maybe you've heard all those stories, but nothing. It doesn't matter what size the lady is, big, tall, or small. There's always going to be an arch in the back. Here's a big female to your left. There is an arch in the back. Small female to my right, arch in the back. It doesn't matter if the female's got muscles. She's a very muscular female and she works out like this female that you're looking at. There's always going to be an arch in that female's back, because nothing can change the skeletal structure of a male to a female or a female to a male once that structure has been set at conception. Any drugs you take will just change the muscles and the skin and the water content and the fat content, but nothing is going to change the skeleton. So here is another female right here. You can see she has an arch in the back. Now there's one more thing I have to show you on a video, and that is where the location of the hip is at, because this is the most important aspect of the difference between a male and a female. A female has her hips below the crotch. She has a acute angle starting below the crotch. She has a very acute Q angle, all because she's been designed to give birth. The hips have to be out of the way so that a woman can give birth. A male hip is going to be above the crotch because males do not need to give birth, and also the male reproductive organs needs to be outside the body to function optimally. So that's why the hips of a man determines where the end of his body is, and the reproductive organs are outside. The female reproductive organs are inside, so the hips is kind of enclosing everything on the inside. Is the end of the body for a female. So let me play that quick video, then we can come back and do some more talking before we get into the transvestigation of Shia LaBeouf, the real transformer. Let's go. So here is the clip right here that I'm gonna play, and this clip is gonna show you where the location of the female hip is at. Now, with regular females, a female will always start spreading underneath her elbows. Why does a female spread wider underneath her elbows? It's because the pelvis of a female is wider than that of a man. Why is the pelvis of a female wider? So that a baby can be contained inside the pelvis. All right? A female has a wide pubic arch. Why does a female have a wide pubic arch? So a baby can come outside of the womb. So because the pelvis of a female is wider, the body is designed in such a way to accommodate that wide pelvis. All right? So that's why a female spreads wider, starts getting wider from underneath her elbows, because her body is spreading to accommodate the pelvis that's wide. Now, the widest point of female will always be the hips. The location of the hips is always going to be below the crotch, as you're going to see in this video. Now, you have to understand that some females have their waists. The waist of a female is located above her navel. Some females have a waist that's wider than the hips, but the location of the hips will always be below the crotch. It doesn't matter. Some females can have shoulders wider than their hips. The location of the hips will always be below the crotch. There is nothing like a waist or shoulder ratio determining if you're female or not. What determines that you're female is that your hips are below the crotch. So I play this video. So the tape goes around there, and you can see this is how a female gets measured into clothes. The widest point is below the crotch, because you have to understand that a lot of people get into clothes that come from so many different countries. If the clothes were sewn in such a way with varying places for the female hip, the clothes would be a problem for females to fit into. So all tailors and signs knows that the location of the female hip is below the crotch, because without knowing that location, most of the clothes that a woman would wear would not fit. So as you can see right there in this measurement right here, the location of the female hip measured is below the crotch. So this female is going to turn around so you can see exactly where the location is from the back. Now remember that the female hip is wider. So because of the wider, when I say female hip, I'm talking about, let me just say it right. The female pelvis is wider, okay? So because the female pelvis is wider, the hips are farther apart. So because of the hips being farther apart, it causes the Q angle of a female to be much more acute than the Q angle of a male. So if you were looking at someone from the back, you would immediately notice that someone is male or the other is female based on the Q angle. The Q angle of a man starts higher up above the bum line that you see right here. With a female, the Q angle is almost as close to this bum line as you can see right here. The distance is not that far apart. All right, and it's going to be very, very acute. So if you have problems looking, if you're trying to find out the gender of someone and you have problems looking at the pictures from the front, try to see if you can find a picture from the back, because when you look at the picture from the back, you're gonna know for sure that you're looking at a male or female because of the acute Q angle that's gonna start just slightly above the bum line if it's female, all right, and high above the bum line. The Q angle would be very high above the bum line if you're looking at a male, and it would not be as acute as that of a female. So the Q angle for a female from the back is slightly above the bum line, but it's below the crotch from the front. So I want you guys to remember that. So let's move over now and talk about some few things before we get into Shia LaBeouf. So this is the part that I have to put on a warning on our channel before I continue. A channel is not a gossip channel, so we don't appreciate people gossiping. All right? So gossiping means slandering people at will and just calling people at names at will without any proof. Like I've said before, free speech doesn't mean that you get to say what you want to say at any time. Free speech actually means say what you want to say, but have the facts, provable facts that back up your statements. So you can't come up to this channel and label someone a transgender without providing facts. You have to provide facts based on the female skeletal structure, which we just talked about. So this is how you label someone a transgender on a channel. You have to say that someone is a transgender. You need to provide links of pictures based on the female skeletal structure proving that this person is a transgender. So what you have to provide is pictures showing that the person has hips below the crotch, the person has an arch in the back, the person has a pelvis that's tilted forward, and the person has a wide pubic arch. If you say someone is a transgender on this channel and you do not provide those facts, we are going to block you. This is an educational channel. We do not have time to slander people. We do not encourage slander in any way, shape, or form. People have to understand that it's very, very bad for you to accuse somebody of something without having facts. It's just like calling someone a thief. If you suspect someone to be a thief and you can't provide the facts that the person is, and you go ahead and call the person a thief, you've just dragged the person's name through mud. You have to consider, if someone did that to you, how would you feel? How would you feel that someone starts spreading false rumors about you without any proof? So we have to be considerate in the way we speak, in the way we act. Back up your statements. Don't just say it before it feels good. Okay? Don't just say it because it feels good and you just utter whatever you want to say. All right? So a lot of channels condone you slandering people at will, but on this channel we do not appreciate slander. You have to come with your facts, and those facts have to be in specific links of pictures, not a Google search result that you just Googled and sent and say this is the proof. And you don't have to, and you can also provide someone else's video that was made and say this is the proof that you have that someone is a transgender because someone else made a video. That is still going to get you blocked. You have to provide specific links of pictures based on the female skeletal structure showing that the person has hips below the crotch, an arch in the back, your pelvis is tilted forward, and a wide pubic arch. If your statements do not contain such, you are going to get blocked, and we will ask you to unsubscribe. So if you come up to this channel and you label someone a transgender with frivolous facts such as the person has a long index or ring index fingers, the person has maybe a sloping forehead, has a strong jawline, has brow bossing, walks like a man, walks like a woman, okay, has mannish or womanish ways, has an Adonis belt, has long arms and long torsos and all of that, you are going to get blocked. A lot of people don't listen to this warning before they watch the video, and they just go ahead and make statements. We're going to block you regardless. We have no time because we're having a lot of subscribers now. So if you say a comment and you slander someone and you wake up the next morning and you can't leave any other comment, that's because you did not listen to the instructions and you got blocked. All right, so that's what's going to happen. So as usual, before I go any further, I'd like to let you know that the Vatican is the one behind the so many transgenders that you see in your world and on TV. The Vatican is trying to shut us down because we are letting you know the truth. They landed a strike on an account for a video that we made and said that we made a video that had nudity when the video had no such thing at all. And let me show you what the Vatican has been trying to do to us. So here's the strike on the video in the Selena Q video. As you can see right here, it says violation of YouTube's policy on nudity and sexual content. If you do something wrong on YouTube, maybe you have an infringement or you used some material that's not yours, what YouTube usually does is tell you the minute mark of where you have that infringement. But as you can see right here on the screen, there is no minute mark for the infringement on the video because it doesn't exist. Why would YouTube send us a line of strike on account? Is because YouTube is owned by the Vatican and they control what you see and what you hear. So they didn't want a lot of people to know about Selena Q, that Selena Q, the popular Latina singer, was actually not the gender that she claimed. If you're interested in watching the Selena Q video, go look for the Bono video. It will give you instructions on how to watch it. Just go to the Bono video. There's going to be a link in the description section of the Bono video. Find that link and go download the video and watch on your own. So the Vatican is hard at work trying to shut us down because we are telling you the truth. We do not know how long this channel is going to be up. And we have so many surprises down the road that I think it's going to be hard for the Vatican to swallow because they want us to shut us down. For example, we have a city, let me say it right before I want to watch my words now. We found out that we had a president of the United States that's not the gender that he claimed. And for your information, that person is not Donald Trump. We found the president of the United States because we started this question a couple of maybe videos down the line in which we asked a question and said, is it possible that since we found out there are so many transgenders in worldwide politics, like for example David Cameron is a transgender, he used to be the Prime Minister of Great Britain, and we have a current Prime Minister of Canada in Justin Trudeau who's transgender. So we asked a question on the Justin Trudeau video. Is it possible that we have a transgender who has been an American president? We asked the public that question and said, okay, go and find out and send us an email and let us investigate over there and see if it's true. So recently we have found that there is an American president who was actually transgender. We're not going to tell you the name on this video. We'll make a video of that person, of that American president, sometime in the future, but not now. But if the Vatican shuts us down here, we probably won't be able to tell you that story. We'll probably be telling you that story on our second channel. All right? So please subscribe to the second channel. The second channel is called Tricks of the S-Tray 2. It's the same name as this channel name with a 2 added. Just go on YouTube and just type Tricks of the S-Tray 2. The channel is going to come up and you subscribe to that channel in case the Vatican, who's hard at work trying to shut us down, shuts us down here. And also, like we've said before, you should send us an email because we are putting a lot of information in a book that's going to make you understand your world. If you've ever been confused in your life, if you've ever had so many unanswered questions, all right, on anything at all, this book is going to provide you with the basis, the foundation for those answers. And you're going to get answers and know what your world is all about. We've put all this information in the book. So far, we think the book is almost close to 700 pages. And we hope to get the book out by the end of this month. We are definitely going to get it. We are working hard. Let me just say that because I don't want to make any promises that I can't keep. We are definitely working hard to get this book ready by the end of the month. So if you're interested in knowing about your world, if you've had so many problems in trying to figure out things and why things are the way they are and the way they work, this book has a lot of answers for you. So if you're interested in the book, send us an email and title the email book. Send us an email And the email that you have to send, email rather, is this channel name at gmail.com. So for example, this channel is called Tricks of the S Trade, right? Tricks of the S Trade. So all you need to do is type in Tricks of the S Trade at gmail.com and send us an email with the title of book. All right. So that's some information I just wanted to share with you to let you guys know. Like I've said before, we will have a video on the American president, all right, that's a transgender, sooner or later, but it's gonna be sometime down the road. We're not gonna be in a hurry to make that video. So but if you're welcome to go look and find out if you can spot, because I think there could be more than one transgender president. We actually think there is more than one, because we found out one that we did not expect could be a transgender. So that means the Vatican has been hard at work, you know, creating transgenders and putting it in public office for us without knowing. So the Vatican is the one responsible for your world, for whatever is happening in your world. The Vatican is the one responsible for the transgenders that you put, and there's a reason for the transgenders, because it's a form of worship. We explain all that in the book. So if you're interested in the book, please send us an email, because we want to print the book according to the number of people who send us an email. So if we've received only 50 emails, then all that we're going to print is just 50 copies of the book, and we'll send that email out to the people who emailed us, telling them that the book is ready, rather, when the book is ready. And if they buy out the 50 copies that we have, then that's all that's going to exist for the book. So that's why we encourage you to send us an email if you're interested in the book. So when the book comes out, we'll send you an email and tell you what the cost is going to be and what the cost of shipping will be, because we'll ship the book to you anywhere you are in the world. It doesn't matter where you are, we'll ship it to you, as long as you have an address that you can be shipped to. We'll ship the book to you. So send us an email if you're interested in the book, because we don't want to have excess inventory laying around. We don't want to make a book that nobody else wants to read, even though we do believe and we stand by our word that this book is the next best thing that happened after the 1599 Geneva Bible. So let us know if you're interested. Just send us an email. An email is the same as the channel name at gmail.com. So let's move over and show some things and talk about a few things and show you what's going on with our real transformer today, so we can end this video. So we start with Transformers, the movie, the film series called Transformers, which was directed by Michael Bay. Now it says here, let's see if you can find something about Shia LaBeouf, just to read a little bit about what happened. So Transformers, the first film in the series, released on July 3rd, 2007. It grossed $709 million worldwide. It was directed by Michael Bay, from a screenplay by Alex Kurtzman and Robert Orci, and a story by Kurtzman, Orci, and John George, starred Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox. So Shia LaBeouf acted the first Transformers movie, and then he also returned for the second Transformers movie in Shia LaBeouf. And then Shia LaBeouf returned for the third one. And so in total, Shia LaBeouf acted 3 Transformer movies. That is a Vatican code of numbers. If you're trying to understand what I'm saying by the Vatican code of numbers, there's a playlist on the channel. Go look for it. It's called Vatican Code of Numbers. And watch it, or you can watch the Lisa Loeb's video to understand, because I go into full explanation of what the Vatican Code of Numbers is. I'm even gonna give you some much more detailed information that's gonna blow your mind in the book, because there are so many things I can't talk about on the video, because there's words that I can't say on the video. But on the book is a private information. We go into details to make you understand what the Vatican Code of Numbers really is. Deep explanation. So if you're interested in our book, please send us an email at tricksofthestrade@gmail.com, the channel name at gmail.com, so we can add you to the email list and print a copy of the book just because you sent us an email. Okay? So in any way, send us an email regardless, because we're working on a website in case the Vatican shuts us down here. Our website is under construction, so we can send you an email when it's ready, and tell you, okay, here is the website. Go and get all your information and dose of truth that you need for your world, for those seekers who are seeking truth. Down the line, we're also working on movies, but we want to get the book out of the way first. This is the most important thing that we need to get out, because the book is going to be like a basis, a foundation for everything else. So you can have all your answers in just one spot. All you need to do is just go look at the book if you have questions, and you're probably going to find the answer that you need. So this is what happened with Shia LaBeouf, who's a real Transformer. When I say a real Transformer, you guys should know what I'm saying exactly. He acted 3 of these movies in the Transformer series, and then after that, Shia LaBeouf got called off. Now, people always wondered, why did Shia LaBeouf get called off from the Transformer series? Because it wasn't like Shia LaBeouf was sick. There was nothing wrong with him. We just call him a him for now, but by the time we get done with this video, you actually know the Transformers, Shia LaBeouf was actually a her. So why did Shia LaBeouf get called off from the movie? And Mark Wahlberg came in and has acted just, I think, Mark Wahlberg, I think, has acted maybe 2, is it 2 or is it 3? I think it's 2. He's acted 2 of the movies already, I think, in the Transformers series. So why did they do that? Because this is how the Vatican works. I'll give you a case in point of scenario in Selena Q. Now, Selena Q was presented to the public and the world as a woman, but Selena Q wasn't a female. Okay? So what happened is when Selena Q mysteriously died by being shot by her manager, the posthumous theme was acted by a very beautiful, curvy-looking female in Jennifer Lopez. Why is that the case? Because the Vatican superimposes a truth on a lie so that you can believe the lie. So it's somebody who's never heard of Selena Q, and you watch the movie that she acted about Selena Q, you probably think, just because you see this curvy looking female, in your mind you think that Selena Q was also a woman. So that lie is sealed into your mind forever. You believe that Selena Q is a female. So even if you saw pictures of Selena Q, you're going to be suffering from cognitive dissonance and actually believing that you're looking at a female. In the same way with Shia LaBeouf happening here. Shia LaBeouf is female. He's acted 3 of the Transformer movies. Got called off, and they brought in Mark Wahlberg. So a lot of people watching Mark Wahlberg, who is a bona fide man, all right? He's not a transgender, is actually going to believe that Shia LaBeouf is also a man. So that's how the Vatican works. They superimpose the truth on a lie to make you believe a lie. So that is why Mark Wahlberg got called in. There was nothing wrong with Shia LaBeouf. Meanwhile, there's no slandering allowed on the channel. Mark Wahlberg is 100% male and no transgender. You slander, you're gonna get blocked. So let's move on to read something about Shia LaBeouf on his Wikipedia, or let's say official stats page. Then we can move on. So here is a Shia LaBeouf's page right here. It says here, Shia LaBeouf was born June 11, 1986. The Vatican Code of Numbers is right at work. This is not a coincidence that all the time you have this Vatican Code of Numbers. Because people, you have to understand that the people that you see in your world who are influencing your world in one way or the other are bred by the Vatican to be there. They're not there by accident or through hard work. They're there because the Vatican wants them there and put them there and bred them there. So Shia LaBeouf is a product of that Vatican breeding project. Okay? Like I've said before, Vatican owns Hollywood. The Roman Catholic Church owns all the nonsense that you watch on your TV. Everything that you watch, from either pornographic material, all right, to Hollywood, anything that you watch on your TV distributed worldwide is owned by the Vatican. The Vatican owns everything, down to the underwear you wear and the shower heads in your house. You cannot do anything without the Vatican in it. It's just the simple truth that you have to accept. So Shia LaBeouf here, as you can see here, has the Vatican Code of Numbers of June, born on the 6th month of the year. Vatican Code of Numbers in the year 1986. It could be that Shia LaBeouf was never born on this date, but since the Vatican is always trying to bring some sort of spirituality into what they're doing, because there are spiritual people, but the spirituality that they are of is not what you think it is. It's not God-based. It's based on something else. And we explain all this in our book. So if you're interested in the book, like I've said, send us an email with the title book so you can get all this information at your fingertips. So if you go down into Shia LaBeouf's webpage, it's littered, of this particular webpage rather, it's littered with the Vatican Code of Numbers all through. But let's read something that the Vatican uses to confuse a lot of people into thinking that Christianity is what it is. Now, the Christian religion is a bogus religion that is controlled by the Vatican. It has no truth in it. If you're going to an organized place in your world that says that they worship God within the four walls of that organization, all you're getting is lies. We put all this information in the book so you can understand that they are all lies. There is no truth in churches. It doesn't matter what the name of the church is. As long as you're going to a church that is within four walls, that has a name, you're going to get lies. There's no truth. Now, it says here, early life of Shia LaBeouf. It says, LaBeouf was born in Los Angeles, California, as the only child of Shane and Nene Said and Jeffrey Craig LaBeouf. His mother is a dancer and preliminary turned visual artist and clothing jewelry designer. His father is a Vietnam War veteran. So, Shia LaBeouf's father was in the military. And who runs the military? It is the Vatican. All right. He goes on to say LaBeouf's mother is Jewish and his father, who is of Cajun descent, is Christian. LaBeouf has described himself as Jewish and has stated he is raised around both sides. He had a bar mitzvah ceremony and was also baptized in the Angelus Church. One of the camps he attended was Christian. His first name is derived from the Hebrew Shia, meaning gift of God. So this is how people get confused, because once you hear the word Christian, you drop all your gods and you say, oh, he's Christian, so he must be worshiping God, so whatever he's doing is right. And you go along with this deception. Shia has nothing to do with Christianity, because if he was Christian, he would tell you the truth of who he really is, that he ain't no man, but is a female masquerading around as one. Well, if you have time, you can go through all of this at your own time. You can pause the video or just Google, Shia LaBeouf and read the story. But let's play something that Shia LaBeouf said before we get into showing the pictures of Shia LaBeouf. We didn't pull up a lot of pictures, just a couple of ones, but those few ones are very, very okay. So let's go. Now, this particular video that I'm going to play, it was something that I noted, and I thought the public should know, those people who are interested in truth. Like I've said before, any video that you watch on this channel is free for download. All right, you have no problems. Download the videos, spread the news, upload it, re-upload it, do whatever you want to do with it, as long as you get the truth out, so those who are looking for truth can get the truth about the world. Now, the video I'm gonna play right here with Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox. Shia is going to get asked a question. I'm going to tell you the story just in case maybe if we try uploading this video and we get some copyright infringement for playing this part of the video, then we can just, re-edit it and re-upload. But I just want to tell you the story first so you guys can understand, in case YouTube, who's the Vatican, doesn't allow us to play this particular video of what Shia LaBeouf was saying. Now, Shia LaBeouf was asked a question that, what is Steven Spielberg's secret? Because Steven Spielberg makes a lot of good movies. If anybody's been around for a long time, or anybody growing up, you've watched a Steven Spielberg movie one way or the other. All right, he's always there, and his movies always seem to win awards. Now, Steven Spielberg is a high up Jesuit, high degree Freemason for the Vatican. Okay, now Shia LaBeouf is going to get asked a question on this particular video. And the question is, what is Steven Spielberg's secret? And Shia LaBeouf is going to say that Steven Spielberg likes eating babies. Now, when I heard that, my whole heart just cringed. Because, was he joking? Do you think Shia LaBeouf was joking about that question? Would you be joking about that kind of thing, that someone's secret is eating babies? Because the truth is, this is what goes on in your world. Sacrificing of babies, of young children. Taking young children and sacrificing them. And making these children to grow up in a gender that's not the agenda. This is what the Vatican is doing. This is how despicable these people are. But I'm gonna play the video because I get kind of angry when I start talking about these kind of things. So you guys can just hear it on this question on Shia LaBeouf. Then if the video doesn't get played, that means the Vatican made us to re-edit that part, and we'll put a link up in the description so you can go watch it for yourself. But I'll play that part right here and try to see if it's gonna play and see what happens next.
Can you tell us a secret about Steven Spielberg? He eats babies. Whole babies. Can you tell us a secret about Steven Spielberg? He eats babies. Whole babies. Can you tell us a secret about Steven Spielberg? He eats babies. Whole babies. Can you tell us a secret about Steven Spielberg? He eats babies. Whole babies. Can you show us the technique for a good kiss in a movie? Tell us a secret about Steven Spielberg. He eats babies. Whole babies.
So you could hear it right there, you know, these people making jokes of this, that Steven Spielberg eats children, eats babies. And Megan Fox is laughing about it like it's nothing at all. Do you guys think this is a joke? Would you joke? Is that something that anybody should joke about? That somebody eats babies? Well, that's just what I wanted to show you. So let's move on and get into the transvestigation of the real transformer and Shia LaBeouf and just wrap up this video. So here is the first picture of Shia LaBeouf, and as you can notice, Shia LaBeouf has an arch in his back. Alright? Shia LaBeouf doesn't have a clear separation between the chest muscles and the abdominal muscles here because female's chest is not designed to be muscular. So females don't have a lot of muscles in the chest because the chest is designed to carry mammary glands and breast milk for children. So that's why Shia LaBeouf is shaped this way. Another thing you should notice is that Shia LaBeouf's shoulders, right, are being tucked inside the armpit. They don't extend outside the torso of the body. That's how when a female tries to bulk, if you've noticed females who are into bodybuilding and they try to bulk like a male, what happens is that the female, you know, is made in such a way to grow the lats. The lats are the muscles underneath the armpits so that it can give the appearance of a wider, broader shoulder. So when that happens, the arms are going to hang much more inside the armpits than actually outside of it as males. And this is what Shia LaBeouf has here. He has an arch in the back. The shoulders are tucked inside the body and on top of the armpits because Shia LaBeouf is 100% female, been masquerading as a male for way too long, and is the real Transformer in the movie The Transformers. Here's Shia LaBeouf again with his girlfriend. His girlfriend is called Maya Goth. Now, we did notice that Maya Goth seems to be another creation of the Vatican because I think she's been created for this role just to give us the appearance that, you know, she's walking around with a man when she's not. Because I think Maya Goth also was dating or friends with Robert Pattinson at one point in time, which will show you a picture on this particular video. But let us show you the statistics on Maya Goth, all right, before we get into, or before we come back and finish showing the pictures of Shia LaBeouf. Let's do that. So here is Maya Goth's official, page you can find on Wikipedia. You can just type in Maya Goth, and this is gonna come up, and you can read about who Maya Goth is. It says Maya Gipsomela da Silva Goth, born 30th November 1993. Can you see the same Vatican code of numbers that we saw on Shia LaBeouf's webpage? This is not coincidence that these people are born in multiples of 3. That happened. She was born 30th of November 1993. There is also a Vatican code of number right here. So if you're interested in reading about Maya Goth, you can, like I said, go Google Maya Goth and just read up. So I'm just trying to show you how the Vatican creates and breeds all these people and feeds them to us to believe that they're happening organically, when they are all playing roles in the deception that's going on in our world, in how the Vatican controls our perception of reality in the world we live in today. We make you understand all that information in our book. So please send us an email if you're interested in the book so we can print a copy according to the number of emails that we receive. We don't want to waste inventory laying around, because the book is going to be a little bit pricey at this point because it's up to 800 pages. And the publisher, going by how the publishers want charge per page, that's how much the book is going to cost. So please send us an email if you're interested in the book with the title book. Email is the same as the channel name at gmail.com. The channel name is Tricks of the S Trade. So you add just at gmail.com and send us an email. So let's go up and finish this transvestigation of Shia LaBeouf. So what I want you guys to notice is that Shia LaBeouf right here has, his Q angle is below the crotch. Don't worry, I will show you some more better pictures. But I just want you to notice that whatever this so-called female is wearing here is a deception. Don't worry about what's going on here, because this is how the Vatican loves, distracting people and diverting your attention from what you're going to be looking at. Because if you look at Shia LaBeouf right here and you see this package, looks like a package hanging around here, you probably think it's male. And just by that, a woman taking a good look, so, oh, that's a man. You know what I mean? Because you've been distracted by what's going on down here. That's how the Vatican loves to deceive people, by making, like, you look at the things that could distract. For example, you look at the, let's say, how big of a behind that maybe somebody like Serena Williams or Iggy Azalea has, and you get distracted and say, oh, that must be a female. Because you're not looking at the fine details to notice that all females have an arch in the back, and these two supposed females in Serena Williams and Iggy Azalea have straight backs. So the Vatican always likes to deceive you and divert your attention, because if you're paying attention to this, then you think that you're looking at a man. But when you pay attention to the hips below, which he has, which is below the crotch like you see right here, the same with the female on the left, and the way the arms are moving, then you can know that this is 100% woman. Was never a man in the first place, just masquerading around as one, and is the real transformer. All right, let's go to another picture right here. This is Shia LaBeouf right here, and you can see the Q angle just starts screaming out loud. It's below the crotch and way too acute, because Shia LaBeouf is 100% female, was never a man in the first place. And that is why I think they chose her for that movie called The Transformer. It was just kind of a subtle dig that we have real transformers in your midst, and you think that the one that you're watching on your screen is the actual transformer. Transformer is just a mutilated female at this point, because he's not a man, and there's no such thing as a transgender. We have to start calling things by their right words, because if you wanna program yourself out of the elite way of thinking, you have to create your own vocabulary. You don't have to say what they say or repeat after them, otherwise you're gonna have the same mindset as they do. So this is a mutilated female with hips and the Q angle below the crotch, screaming all day, I'm a woman. He's been lying to us and telling us that she is a man when she's not. And I can't blame her, because the Vatican set her up for this. But it is what it is when we have to show you the truth. That's why you hear all those weird stories of, they say, Shia LaBeouf is running crazy or what. It's all created, fabricated stories to make you believe that you're looking at a man when he's 100% female. So let's go and do check out some more pictures of Shia LaBeouf. All right, here's another picture now. Here's just exactly what I've been telling you. If a woman looks at this, you get distracted and you think, but the package is not even hanging in the right place. It's not in the right place. Because if it was, it should be like sticking outside below here. It shouldn't be higher up there because this is 100% female. The Q angle right here is below the crotch. Screaming all day, I'm a woman, as you can see. The Q angle below the crotch. Below, not above it, because Shia LaBeouf is 100% female and not a man. The real Transformer in the movie The Transformers. Here is Shia LaBeouf again, and this is how they keep on distracting you because he has her fly open here, and you probably think, oh, I'm looking at a man, but it's not. You have to look at the hourglass figure that he has here because as a woman, like I showed you before, you start spreading from underneath your elbows. All right, this is Shia LaBeouf's elbows right here, and he starts spreading from underneath it. And the curve length is so long because it goes down, down, down. The widest point, you see he gets wider from here, wider, 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 wider down here. And this is where the Q angle starts, which is below the crotch because Shia LaBeouf is 100% female. The real Transformer in the movie The Transformers, and it's not a man. He's masquerading around as one for way too long. All right, and some other pictures of Shia LaBeouf, and here again, as you can see, there's no clear separation between the chest muscles and the abdominal muscles, and Shia LaBeouf starts spreading right here, as you can notice, goes all the way down, and the widest point is below the crotch, and you can see how acute this Q angle is. The Vatican has been trying to deceive us that you're looking at a man right here when it's not. 100% female. And you can see all the people say, I hear a lot of stories about people saying that butterflies symbolize monarch programming. But what is really programming? That's the question that we need to understand. Is it possible for you to program somebody with the snap of a finger? It's not possible to do that. You have to train the person from childhood to understand that the snap of a finger means come here. It's like you train a dog, all right? So you take a child from childhood, from when he's a baby, and start training the child that way so that when he's old, and if the child is not exposed to anybody else, he's not exposed to any other truth, that means the mindset of the child is solely owned by you. That is the meaning of monarch programming. All these butterflies that you see here, all these butterflies that you see here are all lies, and they want to make you believe in falsehood so you can fall for it. All right? There's no such thing. You train a child from childhood to be a certain way, and the child is going to be that way. There's no such magically snapping fingers at an adult and the person turns. You have to train that child from childhood like a dog or a pig, which is what the Vatican is doing here with all these people. It's a sad story, but it is what it is. Next picture on the Shia LaBeouf, and as you can see right here, the Q angle is below the crotch, below it. You can see right here, he starts spreading. He's his elbows right here. He starts spreading from this point right here and gets wider, 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 wider. And this is below the crotch. Don't worry about the clothes that he's wearing and the fake, perception of where the crotch is at. It is below the crotch. And you can see how acute this Q angle is because Shia LaBeouf is 100% female. And Maya Goth here, who is supposed to be his girlfriend, is trying to make us believe that this is a heterosexual couple when they're not. This is two females walking. One is bigger than the other, and one is hyped up on testosterone with all the fake hair and everything else, and trying to make a mean face like a dude when he's not. All right, some more pictures of Shia LaBeouf. The same picture again. Did we show this? I think we just showed that. This picture is not so clear. Let me see if I can blow this up as much as I can so you can actually see that this Q angle right here of Shia LaBeouf, who's supposed to be a man, is below the crotch. You can see how wide this is, that he gets wider and wider and wider and wider, and the widest point right here is below the crotch. And see how acute the Q angle is because Shia LaBeouf is 100% female and is not a man. Been masquerading around as one, and this is the real Transformers in the Transformer movie. This is a picture of, I just wanted to, because I talked about this, that Maya Goth here seems to have, dated Robert Pattinson. That means she's been trained to, date these so-called mutilated females to sell us the appearance that you're actually looking at a man when you're not, because you can see right here that Robert Pattinson has a Q angle below the crotch. We have a video on Robert Pattinson, so you guys should go take a look if you're interested in the Robert Pattinson video to see that you've been looking at a female. If you're one of those Twilight fans, now we have Twilight fans, then you would know, you would not know that you were looking at a female all that while, and it wasn't that darling male that you love, Robert Pattinson. We have even a more, I wanted to say that, say this before or earlier before I jumped out and mixed my words, that we have so much some information on Robert Pattinson in a book that's gonna be mind-blowing to you guys. You probably watched the Twilight movie and you didn't understand what you were watching. We take like maybe, let's say, a few paragraphs in a book to explain what was going on in the Twilight movie that you guys did not watch. It's something that it's very, very pertinent for you to understand. It will blow your mind. So if you're interested in all that information, please send us an email with the title of book. So when the book is ready, we'll send you an email first for you to get a copy. And then if you have leftover copies, then we can make a video and let other people know how to get it. So do that. But all you need to see right here is that the Q angle of Robert Pattinson right here is below the crotch, because Robert Pattinson also is 100% female, just like the female on the left of the screen. Let's go into another picture of Shia LaBeouf. What's wrong with my mouse? Okay. Here is Shia LaBeouf with Megan Fox. Now, Megan Fox is female, so no slandering is allowed. If you say Megan Fox is male, you're going to get blocked, because we've done a thorough trans investigation on Megan Fox, and she's 100% woman, no transgender. You can see right here, she has an arch in her back, a very deep one. So any fool looking at this and saying that it's male and trying to insinuate that on this channel, you're going to get blocked. But this is a female. These are two females. Shia LaBeouf is also one of them. All right. Some other pictures of Shia LaBeouf. As you can see, the dreaded arch in the back shows here and the tilted pelvis. Let me try to blow this up as much as I can so you guys can see that. All right. Here is it. Look at it. Arch in the back. Arch in the back. Tilted pelvis forward. It's screaming 100% I am female. I am lying to you. I'm trying to masquerade as a man. I am the real Transformer in the Transformer movies. You guys were not looking at the right Transformer while watching the Transformer movies. Shia LaBeouf was the real one. Arch in the back. Pelvis tilted forward because he wants to give birth. All right. Let's go. Another picture of Shia LaBeouf. Look at that again. Clear as night and day. Shia LaBeouf starts spreading from underneath the elbows. Do you see that? Let me blow this up so you can see it. You see it clearly. I'm mixing up my words. Sorry about that. So you can see that he starts spreading from underneath the elbows and gets wider and wider and wider. And the widest point right here is below the crotch. Below the crotch, and an acute Q angle screaming all day, I am a female. I was the real Transformer that you did not watch on the Transformer movies. That is the real Transformer, as you call it. That's what people call it, so we call it Transformer as well. So Shia LaBeouf, 100% female, spreading like a female from underneath the elbows, getting wider until he gets down here below the crotch. Some other pictures of Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf again right here. You can see the Q angle right here is below the crotch. The typical way that, you know, these mutilated females lie trying to cover up the hips is by putting their hands in their pocket and walking around when there is no need to, because they're trying to hide the hips that they have, the huge female hips that they all have. We've shown you this picture before. We can show you again that the Q angle is below the crotch, and the curvaceous feature or curvaceous figure of Shia LaBeouf, rather, as you can see right here, he gets a very curvy figure because he's 100% female, was never a man in the first place. Here's Shia LaBeouf again. Q angle is below the crotch, curvaceous figure walking, pretending that he's male when he's not. All right, let's go. Another picture. Here's Shia LaBeouf again. Look at that. Q angle below the crotch. below the crotch, a cute Q angle like the Maya Goth female, his so-called girlfriend, on the left. Let me blow this up again so you guys can see it. Below the crotch, Q angle below the crotch, and these are hips. He happens to be one of those females who has very small hips, in which his waist might try to look a little bit wider than the hips, but regardless, the Q angle is below the crotch because Shia LaBeouf is 100% female, as you can judge from that Q angle right here. Okay, some other pictures. Here's Shia LaBeouf here. There's two females walking with Maya Goth, still trying to pretend. We just wanted to show you that. And here is Shia LaBeouf. We already showed you this picture before. Arch in the back, right? 100% female. Okay. Here is it again. Clear as night and day. There's no argument right here. This is where all arguments stop. Arch in the back. The pelvis is tilted forward. The navel is higher up because Shia LaBeouf is 100% female. Let's blow that up so you can see. Arch in the back, pelvis tilted forward because he's 100% female and not a man. All right, Shia LaBeouf has been lying to us for a very long time. Arch in the back, tilted pelvis forward, 100% female. All right, here's it again. Look at it. Arch in the back, navel higher up, because it's 100% female, was never a man in the first place. And look at how long, because people have to understand, a female's butt, a bum, is always going to be bigger than that of a man. A female's bum starts way higher up and ends lower down. A male's bum is going to start really quick and end really quick. A female starts higher up right here. This is all bum all the way down here because Shia LaBeouf is 100% female, the real Transformer in the Transformer movies. All right, let's go. Let's go to another picture of Shia LaBeouf right here. What's wrong with my mouse? Ooh, sorry, people. My mouse is not working. Let me find out what's going on. Oh, it wasn't my mouse. That was the final picture that we had. I'm very sorry about that. I thought there was something wrong with my mouse, but there is nothing wrong. So if you've learned something, please subscribe to the channel and stay tuned. And like I always say, like I've said before and I'm saying it again, the Vatican is hard at work trying to shut us down. So if you're interested, all right, because we want to put all this information in the book so that if they shut us down, you can have the book. Please send us an email with the title book. All right. Our email is the same as the channel name at gmail.com. Also subscribe to the second channel called Tricks of the S-Straight 2 in case this one goes down. Because like I've said, we have an American president. We have, I don't want to say we have a couple of American presidents who are transgenders, which we are going to be making videos about. But we're not going to make the video, maybe let's say we're going to make the video maybe towards... maybe, but it could be the next video. We never know. But since the Vatican is hard at work trying to shut us down, send us an email so we can get the book across to you. And, you know, we'll tell you what the price of the book is and the cost of shipping. We'll ship it to you anywhere you are in the world, provided you have an address that we can be shipped to. And send us an email so we put you on an email list because we have a website under construction. We have a couple of things under the line so we can email you and let you know about it in case the Vatican shuts us down. And subscribe to our second channel, which is Tricks of the S-Straight 2. And we leave you with these words. Look with your eyes, but see with your brain. Thanks and bye-bye.